Long before the world we know today, Africa was home to powerful kingdoms, empires, and civilizations that shaped history in ways many people have forgotten. These lost kingdoms of Africa were filled with wealth, knowledge, art, and innovation, yet their stories are rarely told in schools or in the media. If you thought Africa was only about deserts and wildlife, prepare to be surprised, because what you are about to hear will change the way you see the continent forever. Let's start with one of the richest rulers in all of human history, Mansa Musa of the Mali Empire. In the 14th century, he was so wealthy that when he traveled on a pilgrimage to Mecca, he gave away so much gold along the way that he changed the value of money in entire regions for years. Imagine a king so powerful and generous that his journey could shake the world economy. The Mali Empire was not just about gold, though, it was also home to the great city of Timbuktu, a center of learning and culture where thousands of books were written and stored in grand libraries. While much of Europe struggled through the Dark Ages, African scholars were studying astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and law in universities that rivaled any in the world. Now travel with me to the kingdom of Kush, located near the Nile in what is now Sudan. The Kushites built pyramids too smaller than Egypt's but more numerous. They once ruled over Egypt itself as pharaohs, wearing the double crown and controlling the Nile Valley. The kingdom of Kush shows us how Africa was not divided but deeply connected, with power and culture moving up and down the river for thousands of years. Have you ever heard of Great Zimbabwe? Hidden in the southern part of Africa, this kingdom built massive stone walls and towers without mortar, so strong that they still stand today. Imagine walking into a city surrounded by huge stone enclosures, with a population of traders, rulers, and artisans. Great Zimbabwe controlled trade routes across the region, dealing in gold, ivory, and other goods. Some of this trade even reached as far as China. When Europeans first saw the ruins, they could not believe Africans had built them, but archaeology has proven beyond doubt that this was an African achievement, a testament to intelligence, skill, and creativity. In West Africa, the Kingdom of Benin was famous for its art. The Benin bronzes, detailed metal plaques, and sculptures are among the finest artworks ever made. These pieces told stories of kings, battles, and spiritual beliefs, capturing history in metal with incredible detail. The Benin Kingdom was also a powerful military state with organized armies and strong leadership. Sadly, many of its treasures were stolen during colonial invasions and scattered around the world, but they remain proof of Africa's artistic brilliance. Don't forget the Kingdom of Axum in modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. This was one of the great trading empires of the ancient world. It minted its own coins, traded with Rome, India, and Arabia, and built massive stone obelisks that still amaze visitors today. Axum was also one of the first major empires to adopt Christianity, influencing religion across the region for centuries. And then there is Carthage in North Africa, founded by the Phoenicians but becoming an African powerhouse. Carthage controlled trade across the Mediterranean and fought Rome in the famous Punic Wars. The general Hannibal is still remembered as one of the greatest military commanders in history, leading war elephants across the Alps to strike fear into the Roman Republic. Carthage may have been destroyed by Rome, but its legacy remains a reminder of Africa's role in shaping global history. But these are not the only lost kingdoms. There was also the Kingdom of Ghana, which existed before Mali and was rich in gold and trade. The Canaan-Bornu Empire near Lake Chad lasted for centuries as a powerful state in Central Africa. The Songhai Empire grew even larger than Mali, controlling vast lands and trade routes. Everywhere you look on the continent, you find evidence of civilizations that rose, thrived, and left behind legacies of wealth, art, and innovation. So why don't we hear about these kingdoms as much as we hear about ancient Greece or Rome? Part of the reason is colonization and the rewriting of history. For many years, outsiders tried to erase Africa's achievements, presenting it as a land without history or civilization. But the ruins, artifacts, and stories prove otherwise. Africa has always been a center of human creativity, resilience, and power. The most fascinating part is that many of these kingdoms are still surrounded by mystery. Archaeologists continue to discover new clues, ruins hidden under the sands, lost manuscripts, and oral traditions that keep the memory alive. Every discovery reminds us that Africa's story is not just about survival, but about thriving, building, and influencing the world in ways that are still felt today. Imagine what else is still hidden beneath the ground, waiting to be uncovered. Now here's the hook that keeps you thinking long after the story ends. If these kingdoms could rise and achieve such greatness centuries ago, what does that say about the potential of Africa today? The continent is still young, rich in resources, and full of creative energy. The same lands that produced Mansa Musa's gold, the libraries of Timbuktu, the stone walls of Great Zimbabwe, and the art of Benin are alive with new generations ready to shape the future. The lost kingdoms of Africa are not just about the past, they are also about what could come next. And that is the most powerful story of all.